Good morning. I am at a Lab Talk event here in Minneapolis, and I'm so excited to hear today's panelists speak about local businesses and keeping it in the family. So if you're unfamiliar with Lab Talks, maybe look to see if there's any in your area. I'll definitely link them down below, but it's just a great opportunity for you to go and hear from local entrepreneurs and business owners. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'm also going to be doing some thrifting and sourcing and a little bit of work at a coffee shop. So if you are interested in this type of content, of course, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and of course subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I'm excited to be showing you around today.
Mean something to a lot of different people in this country.
Good. I think using that authentic word, these are authentic brands. They're humble brands. I said it before. They're shoes and they're pants, and that's amazing. And we're talking about it 70 years, and we'll talk about it 70 more years. All right.
So I would consider this another fantastic Lab Talk event. Both of the speakers were phenomenal. It was so great to hear kind of the backstory of their families and how they've been around for like 70 years. And just about, even though I don't have a brick and mortar and I don't sell in stores, I never know where my business is going to go in the future. And so it's so good for me to just hear from the experience of others, especially others who have had to go through hard times. The one girl talked about how she would hear her dad and grandpa back in the 80s kind of just have like heated conversations about their business, and because it was struggling at the time. And just to know that like businesses can persevere, and just to hear some of their insight was great. So one of the things I'm going to take away is something that my husband often reminds me of, and it's to truly like when you set goals, to have realistic expectations and to know that some goals will have different outcomes. And so that was really great, and there were so many amazing takeaways. But I wanted to get some work done at the coffee shop, but it was so busy and so loud that it really was not going to happen. So now I'm just going to go to this little local thrift that's nearby and hopefully source some fun new things. Okay, so I just pulled up to my next stop, but before I go in, I kind of wanted to talk about another takeaway for me, and they both really talked about staying humble and kind of like true to like their family values, and that kind of spoke to me as well. And they talked about how they both fly under the radar, but are still like really great quality brands that have lasted again throughout generations, and for me that was really inspiring too, because in the space of like Instagram and YouTube, I've always been someone who likes to fly under the radar, and if you met me at PoshFest, you probably picked up on that. And it's sometimes really interesting for me to put myself out there on YouTube, and just like yesterday, I was at the bins and someone recognized me, and I was just flattered and so humbled by the fact that, first of all, she even watched my videos, and second of all, that someone outside of my bubble knew who I was. And I like to fly under the radar. I really do. I don't like to be loud and shout out all my ideas. So in a way, it was great to hear that these brands have been really successful over time, staying true to who they were. And even though they've evolved and are still doing things that they need to do to keep their companies open, they are still able to stay true to who they are. So that was great. And obviously, like for me, YouTube is something I really, really enjoy, but you're not going to find me really like shouting out about all these big topics, because that's not who I am. And so that was just really great to hear that I can still, keep my values, stay humble, and fly under the radar as much as I can. Okay, time to go thrift. Okay, so I'm back inside. That was interesting. So I've been there before and I've always walked away feeling pretty good. It's small, they don't rotate the bins, and I really only come here after I go to the lap talks. So, sorry, I bought coffee, but I didn't take it in with me, so now I'm like trying to drink it, and it's been sitting here for a little bit. So it wasn't as successful as I'd hoped, and you saw all those shoes, right? So I thought I hit the jackpot. I loaded my cart up with amazing shoes, and then I started really looking at them, going back through them, and realized they weren't the same sizes. None of the pairs I could find their actual same size, and when I could find the right sizes, they were like 2 to the left or 2 to the right. So that was super disappointing. I didn't walk away with any shoes. It's a super small haul. But I found a couple of bracelets for myself. This is a J. Crew. Exciting. And I've just been wanting like more statement like pieces, maybe like vintage, I don't know. So, and then this piece here, I did pay $3 for this piece, but it's a little bit smaller. I have the hardest time finding like smaller size jewelry. So I like how this looks with what I'm wearing. This is perfect. I'll show you a couple other things that I got. It's just gonna be a car haul. I don't think I'm gonna film anymore when I get home. So I got this pair of vintage shorts. They're a little bit longer. Let's see size they are. Size 12. I don't know what that's gonna equate to modern. I'll need to measure. So it's fine. I'll pick up shorts this time of the year. I love this scarf. It might have like a couple small pulls, but otherwise it looks like nearly new condition. I like the Aztec-y print. I've definitely picked up a few scarves lately, and I'm gonna just like bulk photograph and list them. Let's see. It does have its tag. It's just from Target. Not a big deal, but I think people like to add scarves and stuff to like bundles. This is a pair of Massimo jeans. They're a size 14 regular or a size 32, but they have a nice like raw hem and some distressing, so I thought that would be great to pick up. And something I haven't really talked about, and it's because I haven't really started doing it yet, but is I'm going to start taking things into consignment. So in one of my last hauls for my grandma, I said that I was going to start take some of it into consignment, and I did find a good consignment store that I think is going to work perfectly with me and some of the things that I can pick up either at the bins or really low cost and bring it into there. Brands that maybe don't have as much retail value but are brands that people still love. Of course, Massimo, I know everyone loves Massimo jeans. I'm going to try those on Poshmark first, but I do have something else in here that I think I'm going to try consignment with it first, or just like take it into Plato's and maybe get cash up front. I did find this leather jacket, which is probably what I'm most excited about. The tag has some wear, but it's otherwise in really good condition. I love the shoulder pleating. I tried to smell it. I mean, it has kind of a little bit of a faint like leather smell, but it's not super strong. I know that's just kind of something I feel like if you're going to buy leather, you're going to have to also kind of put up with a little bit of an odor, because it does just, leather has an odor. But I love the detailing on that and the color. This is just a pretty basic vintage skirt, pencil skirt. There we go. Of course, the color is like basically what I'm wearing, but I like that as a belt loops. A little bit of pleating. That's cute. This dress is actually something that I might take in either to consignment. I'm going to look at comps first. It's laundry by design. I don't know that it'll do very well on Poshmark. I think it would just be something that sits forever. It's strapless. But it has a really cute kind of design, and it feels like it's kind of textured, almost like a leopard print. Like, I don't know, it has these zippers. I think it's super cute. It's in really great condition. I just don't think it'll do well on Poshmark. Again, I'll look that up before I just take it in. Pair of Levi's, 36, 34. Yeah, so there's that. Darker Levi's don't do as well for me. This is the other thing that I'm going to take into either Plato's or consignment. It's a Forever 21 distressed skirt. I just don't think it has a lot of resale value, but it's really good condition overall, and I feel like it could still be loved and it doesn't just need to go into a landfill. I did pick up the blazer from the beginning. So yeah, this was the blazer, just pretty basic. A a lot of people coming out right now. I feel super awkward. But that's basically the end of the haul. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for following along with me today. If you enjoyed this style of content, if you enjoyed seeing me vlog my day, please give this video a thumbs up. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you next time.